Act by replacing live streaming with electronic transmission of results to tallying centres. At the moment, live streaming of the results from National Tallying Centre is mandatory for the electoral body, where the media accesses the data for public broadcast.
Order, member for Kenny.
The proposed amendments in the bill propose that results be electronically transmitted within 2 hours of the announcement at polling stations to constituency and national tallying centres, candidates, agents and observers. The bill reads in part that the new section has omitted provisions providing for the requirement for IEBC to establish a mechanism for the live streaming of results as announced at polling stations to facilitate public information. It will now be a requirement for returning officers to give satisfactory reasons as to why there were delays for transmission within the set timeframe. This should be done in a prescribed manner. Compounding to the requirement for returning officers is that they must physically deliver the tabulated results to constituency and national tallying centres. The amendments mean that for one to access results, it will require a personal initiative should they wish to access the results to do so by accessing digital images or forms from 34A containing polling station results from the IEBC portals to gauge the outcomes themselves. The bill also omits provision addressing discrepancies between electronically transmitted and physically delivered results and deletes the clause stating that failure to transmit results electronically does not invalidate the declared outcome. The bill is currently at the committee stage of approval, and it means that if enacted, the changes would significantly alter how presidential results are communicated, raising concerns on transparency and public confidence in the electoral process. After the 2007 contested election and violence that ensued, the country opted for a more transparent way of handling elections. At the Bomas of Kenya during the last elections, debate on live transmission emerged when the live screen streaming the results momentarily went off. Chaotic scenes were witnessed over the results, which pointed to mistrust between the contesting parties. There was a similar attempt to scrap the live streaming requirement in 2022, which was rejected by the National Assembly Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, JLAC, then chaired by Kangema Member of Parliament Muturi Kigano. The electoral agency then, under Chair Wafula Chebukati, argued that the provision was unnecessary, with the committee insisting that it enhanced transparency and accountability during the electoral process, and doing away with it would defeat the purpose of enhancing transparency in the announcement and declaration of presidential election results. Among other recommendations in the bill is a mandatory audit of the voter registry by a reputable company. IEBC is also expected to have complementary mechanism that identifies voters. In case of a critical electoral information requirement, IEBC will provide the information within 3 days in case of a presidential election and within 7 days in case of other elective positions. During the Odinga-led demos in 2023, one of their demands was to ensure that there was an audit of the election results of the 2022 elections, and Parliament will be required to appoint an independent firm to carry out an evaluation of the electoral process after a general election is held. According to the bill, the evaluation shall include a review of the legal framework processes and costs associated with the electoral process. The proposed new provisions require the preparation of a report for submission to Parliament within 90 days of the appointment of the independent firm. Martin Upio, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, faith-based organizations now want the government to fully settle debts owed to them under the new defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund. Despite the government disbursing at least 5 billion shillings to settle debts owed by NHIF to hospitals, only 938 million was paid to faith-based hospitals. As Ian Ketanyi now files, the faith-based organizations are calling on the government to fully pay the 4 billion owed to them.
As the government remains adamant that it will settle all debts owed to hospitals, including faith-based organizations, with organizations only receiving 938 million of the 5 billion released to pay pending debts. Faith-based organizations now want all the debts owed to them under the defunct NHIF to be fully paid.
We have accumulated debts that we have shared. What our request for the government, the ministry in particular through SHA, is if we can find a way to retire completely the debts that have been incurred under NHIF regime, so that we can begin the next regime on a new slate.
Still claims from the facilities were totaling 4 billion Kenyan shilling. So out of that, I think about 2.7 were already cleared through, ready to receive payment. And there was another like 1.3 billion out there in the process.
The organization argues that equipping the facilities and paying of salaries is top on their list of concerns.
We pay salaries, and the salaries and the equipment and the medical facilities that we require to run our facility are as expensive as in any other facility. And so our call as the leaders of the church in our country is for the government to pay very, very close attention to the faith-based facilities, because they are a huge support to the government system.
They insist that despite claims of September debts set to be paid by the end of this week, the organization says it is crucial that the debts owed to them is paid in full to ensure smooth running of operations.
And we do appreciate the commitments that have been made that October SHA claims will be cleared this week, but we do have billions worth of claims under NHIF.
According to a statement by Health CS Deborah Mulongo, additional funds are being mobilized to pay out the debts in phases, with the President William Ruto on Sunday during an interdenominational prayers at Kipsitet Primary School in Kericho, promising that the government will settle all pending debts. On top of recommendations of the pending debts being settled, the faith-based organizations also want Level 5 hospitals to be accorded rights to offer outpatient services.
So Level 5's faith-based be allowed to provide outpatient services. And we'll be looking forward to how some of that can be enabled, because we also have health workers who require services. And it's difficult for us to be releasing them and sending them to health centers and dispensaries to look for services when they can receive them at the facility. And being contributors, I think it's only fair that the service they need are facilitated as provided for from the benefits of social health authority.
With the issue of registration under the new scheme proving to be a thorn in the flesh, the organizations called on the stakeholders to address the challenges amid concerns of patients being registered under wrong categories.
President William Ruto has challenged universities across the country to get innovative and engage in income-generating programs. Speaking during the launch of Silicon Savannah Innovation Park at Nairobi University, the president's remarks came amidst growing concerns over the financial stability of public universities in the country. Here is our reporter Edwin Bugwa with the details.
It was during the launch of the University of Nairobi's new 4.7 billion shillings Silicon Savannah Innovation Park on Monday, where the president challenged universities across the country to embrace innovative ways to raise funds for training, research, and development through public-private partnership.
And I want to encourage leadership and management of our universities to think outside the box and to look at what possibilities exist for partnership like the one you're doing with our friends from France.
The president also said the project, which is funded by the French government, will position Kenya as a global hub for innovation and technology and align with the government's agenda to create digital jobs and drive an inclusive economic growth.
This project is not just about creating jobs. It is about reshaping Kenya's economic DNA by anchoring a robust technology and innovation ecosystem within a leading institution of higher learning. We strengthen linkages with industry and forge partnerships with regional and global entities.
The project will focus on areas of green technology, artificial intelligence, and climate change, reflecting on Kenya's commitment to addressing global challenges, as well as help combating unemployment among the youth.
I also have a message to the young people of our nation. The government of Kenya is shaping the present, working for you and delivering opportunities for you to learn, work, create, and innovate a path to the future for yourselves and for your nation.
The president was accompanied by other leaders, including CS for Education Julius Ogamba, French Minister of State for Francophone, Thani Mohamed, among others.
The Innovation Park, Your Excellency, will seek to consolidate the university's place as a leading incubator and home of entrepreneurship.
As you know, we are very active of artificial intelligence. We will soon host the International Summit for Action on AI next February in Paris. You will be the welcome, Mr. President.
Edwin Mbogwa, K24.
Well, that report by Mbogwa brings us to another break right here on K24 Evening Edition. I'll be back with more in a short while.
Back to the future. The future is simulate. Bet smarter. Win faster now. Be a winner. More at bet.
Baada ya kutumia damu ya Yesu na mwili wa Yesu Kristo, shine, shine, shine. You shine and you shine. And just in the name of